has not been heard about the victims of the March 28 Kaduna-Abuja train abduction. 62 passengers were seized by the terrorists, if you recall, when they struck. But so far, about 30 of them have been released, leaving some 32 hapless victims still in captivity. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has promised that his government would spare no efforts to rescue the remaining victims. According to him, the federal government is doing everything within its powers to ensure their safe return. Tony, emotions are rather high at this time, but we need to tame them. Now, you know,
informed that at last count, there remain about 31 people in the hands of the kidnappers. And our determination is to work towards returning these 31 people to their families. It is understandable that emotions typically run high. We have received several suggestions about the employment of lethal military force in extracting those still being held in captivity. My primary concern is to get everyone released safe and unhurt. Notwithstanding, I have since directed the service chiefs and their colleagues in the intelligence arms of our law enforcement agencies that seeing an end to this inhumane action is their topmost priority. And judging by the available reports to me and news that have begun emerging in the last few days, I will say they have heard this instruction and are responding appropriately.
Tony, the number one citizen, has promised, so we hold him to that promise. Emotions will be high at this point. We need to tame the emotions, as I said.
You can't tame the emotion. You can't. The only way you can tame the emotion is by getting these people released. March 28, 2022. Today is 12th of August, 2022. How many months in the forest? These are families. These are people. They came from somewhere. Even if you were picked, from the gutters. I mean, you can't tell them to just relax. They're doing something. How many days? 31 still in the forest. And those people who came out paid through their nose to get that freedom. What was government doing? You can say you don't want to bomb them. You don't want to. So they should just relax. Everybody knows what's going on. They've been paying ransom. Who are they paying this ransom to? I mean, somebody has been negotiating for them. They pay these people ransom. They take it to them. They release. So that's what they're going to be doing. So government is going to wait. And you're telling the families to calm down. You're telling the families to let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Because it's not touching us. If it touches you, you know what to do at that point. They have protested many times. There was a time they protested at the Ministry of Transport, and the minister refused to listen to them. This is not the best way to go up. What you want to assure them is give them a timeline, give me 2 weeks or 7 days. You get them out. That is what they want. You don't keep reassuring. Since March, you've been reassuring. People are tired. And this thing is spreading by the day. Yeah. It's spreading until it gets to all of us. We realize what's going on.
Yinka, Tony seems to be biting the bug. Not unexpectedly.
It's a very, very unfortunate situation. Rather than address the matter, what the government is trying to do is to hit a soft target. What do I mean? It is the same story we are talking about. Something like this that the BBC and Daily Trust did. The security agencies could not reach the terrorists, and journalists were able to get there. If it were to be in a good system, what will happen is you will have to talk to debrief these journalists. How did you get there? What did you do? How did you? It is not a case of punishing a soft target, because that's the way I see it. Rather than punish the bandits or the terrorists, you want to punish the media. For what for? For instance, we have said this several times here. Now, Nigeria says we are operating a cashless economy. Bandits or terrorists, whatever you call them, ask for a ransom of 10 million naira.
And they get it in cash.
I come to the bank to withdraw 1 million naira today, 2 million tomorrow. Won't the bank raise a red flag and say that this guy has been collecting so amount of money? Is he a businessman? What does he want to use it to? Then you let the security agencies know, and then they flag it and look for how to get. We've said it before. It is not rocket science, as they say. There are chips that you can put in the money they are carrying. There are so many ways you can get to it.
You know,
is it that difficult? How if journalists can get to these people? Why is it that security agents can't get to them?
Yeah.
So now you are assuring them after March, April, May, June, July, August, 5 months? At this point, almost all hope will be lost. Government seems helpless. And it is not as if it has stopped. Many others have been kidnapped, even now. Day before yesterday, or was it yesterday, we heard that the son of Professor Ango Abdullahi, who was released, who was among the victims, who was released, his wife and children have also been abducted now. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
For more possible ransoms.
The Yorubas will say that that is, in fact, this one, it has even left the realm of there. It has really entered.
What is there?
Little by little. That the nose of the pig is entering the compound or whatever you put there. You know, that's the. It has eaten
inch by inch.
It has gone beyond that. It is there in food now. Yeah. Now, what are we going to do? Look, nobody is safe again. Nobody is nobody can say what will happen next. In my own Ogbomoso down here, it happened. 2 people were kidnapped. They were going to pay. They paid after collecting 5 million naira ransom. They were killed. Down there. So the thing is getting. The last time I was here, we spoke about Ondo State. It is already everywhere. Nobody is safe. Nobody.
Everywhere.
So what is the assurance that we are going to take to the bandits that the president has assured us that?
Tony, one of the people who were the man who was released the last time before this last set said the university said government should do something now, that these people mean trouble. They mean whatever they say. So the debate will continue.
It will continue.
The debate will continue.
Mr.
Go on.
Mr. Olayinka was saying something like, what do we do now? You're giving an instance of what to do.
Yeah.
It's not like government doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
They know what to do. You know what? It's simple. It's simple. I remember this country, some couple of months back, they told everybody to go and register with NIN. What was the purpose of that?
What has happened?
These people have been using phones to communicate with the families.
Exactly.
How come they've not been able to track them? How come they've not been able to track them? Went with motorbikes, lines, hijacked, killed people on the rail on rail travel, and disappeared into thin air. And today we're still talking about since March. We're not ready. We don't have the will. And until we tell ourselves the truth, that's just the truth. And the truth is that we are not ready. The solutions are, everybody knows the solution, the way. And then when you don't blame the families because they are beginning to that spirit. Yeah. And so they are willing to pay anything to get them. And all those who have been released so far pay for their own
release.
For their release. So what's government doing? So it's not about reassuring the people. Every day, the minister, every 2 weeks, every fortnight, you meet with the service chiefs. What is the outcome of this? I mean, and they come, they reassure the president, we're doing this. Nothing seems to be coming out. That's the truth.
You know
That
the
is
most
frustrating.
annoying. You know the most annoying thing
can't
for
take this
me.
anymore.
Yeah.
We keep shifting reasons and we keep giving reasons and excuses. When Neil was going to be done, they said this was going to be the cure-all of everything, that when you have everybody's data on phone and all that, we will know where you are and all that.
The problem is solved.
Now, they are saying again now that it is population census that will help us to solve this. So how can, if NIC cannot solve it, how can population, the census solve it? There's no way.
Let me introduce this element into the discussion. I hear there's a go-between. Somebody who steps in, negotiating. Can't we do something through him? Is it difficult?
That's why I said there's no will.
You know, it is a very difficult thing. One, the go-between will also be very careful so that he doesn't lose the trust
of the
terrorist. Because if he gives any information away, the terrorist will no longer trust him.
Obviously.
And so on. But for me, what I think the federal government needs to do, or what should have been done, is to call in those journalists, debrief them, and ask them. Although a journalist's role is that you don't disclose your source and all that, but I mean, this is an issue of life and death.
Yeah.
This is the issue of life and death. Assuming one of the journalists' family member was involved, will he not find a way to assist? I mean, but you see, this is not blaming the security agencies. What I believe is that, as Tony said, it is the political will that is absent. Because if I work with you, if you are my boss, it is your body language or the way you react to things that will tell me what to do.
Yinka, sorry, there's another call from London rather. This is from Cherry. I hope I got that right. Cherry is reaching us.
Yes.
Good evening to you.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Please, my contribution to all this is that, you see, the government, Nigeria is not the only country in West Africa. We have Ghana, we have Benin, we have Togo, we have
Liberia
all
and so
these
on.
countries, that borders the Sahara, you know. So why is it that it is in Nigeria alone that we are having all this problem? Look at Ghana. Look at even Niger. Look at Chad. Look at Central African Republic. So the problem is that the government is complicit in all this. The government has refused to act. That is why we are having all this insecurity. Nigeria.
All right. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry.